Good morning, guys. Happy Tuesday. Welcome to the Fearless Morning Show, where we are having confessions and conversations about your everyday life and finances. My name is Yamitra Jojo Waddell, the only Live Past Crazy specialist. So what better place to be than here with me? Hope everybody is having a marvelous Tuesday. Good morning, Miss Margaret. I was thinking about you this morning. I have your shirt. I'm taking your shirt with me for Thanksgiving. And so I just put it in my suitcase. Good morning, Minister Valerie. How you doing this morning? Let me tell you, my co-host, my third co-host, Rosie, has been sleeping her life away every morning. She's been living a good life. So she is enjoying her vacation time. That is for sure. All right, guys. I am my co-host, Miss Lynn, is off this week. So she is America's #1. Yes, she said it. America's #1 rebound coach. So if you have any questions about your finances and why your money doesn't have to be funny, please make sure you check her out. I'm putting her website right there down below so that you guys can go and check her out. Yeah, right, because it's gonna next Monday, she's gonna be right back at it. But I have to say, Rosie's been good. She has caught up on all of her schoolwork, all of her homework. So she's been very productive her first 2 days at home. So that's a good thing. All right, guys. So the quote for today, where did it go? I lost it. I had a good quote. Well, I had it. Let's see. No. It was by... No, that's not it either. I had such a good quote, y'all. And now I can't find it. Well, that's okay. I sure will, Miss Margaret. As you know, she tried on my shirt first. Just so you know. She had the shirt on first before I did. And I was like, Rosie, that's mine. And she was like, okay, Mommy, but it looks really good on me. No, it's mine. Oh, here it is. Here's the quote. Those who do not want to imitate anything produce nothing. And that's by Salvador Dali. Those who do not want to imitate anything produce nothing. And if you think about that, that is so true. Right, she is she is wrong for that. I was like, Rosie, this is mine. She's like, no, it's mine, but I'll let you wear it. I was like, oh, okay, thank you, Rosie. Okay. So if you think about that quote, I love this thing. It says, those who do not imitate anything produce nothing. And that's by Salvador Dali. So what are you producing? Are you just, if you're not doing anything, and there's, I want to say Bishop, what's his name? Oh, okay. And I'm coming. Hold fast. I'm coming. I think the bishop said that, that people, and I want to say it's Bishop Bronner, who said people who do nothing must be tired because you can never stop doing nothing. Have you ever asked that person, what are you doing? Nothing. Nothing. And you can never stop doing nothing. So you produce nothing, but you're tired and you can never stop doing nothing because it is a full-time job. It is a full-time job. All right, guys, the power to change. So that is the fearless thought for today. Yesterday we talked about make a decision for yourself and how to grow past your hurts. I hope you enjoyed that show. Thank you for everybody that shared it. I greatly appreciate you sharing the show. That means a lot to us because the more shares we get, the more people we can educate. And as Miss Margaret says, hashtag change the world. That is what we're trying to do over here, dealing with one crazy at a time. So the power to change, there's 6 things you need to know when you're ready to change and that you have the power to change. The first thing is You got to stay present, meaning you can't keep going back to the past. We talked about living past those hurts yesterday. Yes, it is. Sharing is caring. Thank you, Miss Margaret. You've got to live past that hurt. We talked about that yesterday. So you've got to stay present at what is currently going on in front of you and how you're going to handle it. The second thing is you've got to be grateful. Good morning, Miss Kimberly. And you guys know how I feel about complaining. I talked about that yesterday. So be grateful for where you are, what you have, instead of complaining about the things you don't. The third thing is you've got to conquer fear. And that may seem a lot easier said than done. A lot of times fear is just the emotion that we have of the unknown. It is the possibilities of what may happen because we don't know what will happen. And so that's all fear is. Remember, fear and excitement are the same chemical in your brain. And when you realize that, and that's how I got over the fear of riding the roller coaster. If you guys were with me over the summer and me and Lynn went to Six Flags and we rode the roller coasters, that's how I got over the fear of roller coasters. I was like, JoJo, either you're going to be excited or you're going to be scared. Same chemical. What are we going to call it? And I was like, I'm going to be excited to get on this roller coaster. And when I tell you guys, it worked. And I rode that roller coaster. And I might have put one hand up in the air as we went around the curve. Make sure you guys go back and check that video where I got over my fear of heights with Lynn. But you've got to conquer that fear. And if it is simply you telling your body that you are excited or whatever name you want to add to it other than fear, then your body responds accordingly. Your emotions respond accordingly. Your heart rate, your brain waves, everything responds accordingly. Fear is just simply the emotions that you have associated with the unknown. It's because you don't know what's going to happen. And that's why some people rather stay with the crazy they know than the crazy that they don't know. They rather deal with the comfort of crazy than the discipline of freedom. And that will keep you stuck. If you want to deal with I went at the event on Saturday where I got the award. After I finished speaking, a young lady walked up to me and she said her sister passed away from domestic violence. And her sister was a nurse. She was an RN, and she stayed with her abuser for over 40 years. Can you imagine being in that state of fear for that long? I can't even begin to imagine, but you've got to learn to conquer that fear. And I'd rather deal with the discipline of freedom than the comfort of crazy. And when I realized that, there was no staying for me. I wanted to live more than anything else. Right, Minister Valley? False evidence appearing real. That's so very true. Because it's real in here. So our body reacts to it. Now there's a difference between fear and danger. You know, danger, we are aware of what's going on. But that fear, it's the exact same chemical in our brain as excitement. So it's whatever you're going to attach to it that it becomes, so your body is going to react to it. So you've got to conquer that fear. And then you've got to follow your passion. Is the fourth thing. You got to, and a lot of people will tell me I don't have a passion. Yes, you do. I don't know what I want to do. That's my sister's favorite word. I don't know what I want to do. Yes, you do. You just have to be willing to do the work of what it is that you want to do. Because what you want to do or your passion may require more of you than what you're giving right now. And you may be quite okay. And some of us have a laziness problem. We don't have a life problem. We don't have a crazy problem. We have a lazy problem. We are more than happy getting the bare minimum, doing the bare minimum. And if we exert any additional effort, then it will require more of us than we are willing to give the world. And so we choose not to. And so we have a laziness problem. I don't have a passion problem. We don't have, I don't know what I'm supposed to do problem. We have, I'm lazy. And if this is what I can achieve doing the bare minimum, this is what I'm going to keep doing. Again, I'd rather live in the comfort of my crazy than the discipline of my freedom. Ms. Margaret, until they understand it's going to take work, they're going to stay in the exact same place. So follow your passion. Be quiet. Listen. Take some time to be quiet to yourself to figure out what it is that you really really like to do? The answer is there. I promise you. The fifth thing you have to do is seize the opportunity. The opportunity is always presenting itself continuously. You may run into, let me tell you, so for you guys that don't know, I have a hair care line, and it's called Bare Your Hair. And my oldest daughter runs that. You don't hear me talk about Courtney much because she's my oldest, and she's the shyest of Courtney and of the two. And so I turned the business over to Courtney because she felt like education was just not her thing. So I turned the business over to her. And so Bare Your Hair is, I had alopecia, so I was completely bald for years. Good morning, Miss Rachel. I dreamed about you last night, that you were fussing at me, and I promise I'm on it. Don't fuss at you. And it's bad when your person fusses at you in your head and you ain't even talk to her. I'm on my business, Miss Rachel. I got a little sidetracked. I'm coming for you. Hold fast. So, Mom, I have alopecia, so I was completely bald for years. I mean, like I had no hair on my head, completely bald. And I did not want to go the traditional route of getting shots in my head and taking medicine because I saw my mother do that. And so what I decided to do is create my own products. I started mixing and making my own stuff in my house. And I was like, surely this is going to work because these are all the ingredients that make hair grow. And so I started to use it on me and my girls' hair. And I used it in one day. This is how you have to seize the opportunity. I'm in the grocery store with a friend of mine, minding my own business. And a lady stops me. She said, who did your twist? And I was like, oh, I did. And then my friend said, you know, she makes the products herself. I was like, why are you telling her my business? And that lady was like, really? Your hair looks so good. I would pay for your products. I was like, you would? She's like, yeah. And that is how Bare Your Hair was created. You got to seize the opportunity. The opportunity is absolutely always there. And yes, it's for permed and natural hair. It will grow your hair. I cut mine. Sidetrack. I cut mine a couple of months ago because I had some heat damage. But Courtney and Rosie's hair both is waist length. So their hair is way longer than mine. And I'm just trying to catch up with the girls. But we do have that. But you got to seize the opportunity. And the opportunity is always there to present itself. It's just, are you willing to take the action of the opportunity? Because somebody may say something to you, girl, you are so great at this. Why don't you do something with it? Or it comes to you like it's your second nature. Why don't you do something with it? But are you willing to do the work with it? Some of us have a laziness problem. I don't have a passion problem. We truly have a lazy problem. You've got to be willing to do the work. There's no other way around that part. You've got to be willing to do the work. And then you have to celebrate. You got to celebrate your big, your small, every win that you have. Because if you do not, then you're going to find yourself being depressed and sad all the time. When I was going through, when I left my abuser, and you guys know my story, right? Seize the moment. I was depressed. I tried to commit suicide. I did everything and none of it worked. And so I decided if I'm going to be here, I might as well celebrate the small stuff. So if I got up and I brushed my teeth, I said, JoJo, good job. You brushed your teeth this morning. If I brushed my teeth and took a bath, good job, JoJo. You brushed your teeth and took a bath. If I talked to my children, hey, I'm batting 1,000. If I actually left the bed, I was making big moves. These are my mother's earrings. Good morning, Mama. She made these for me. I don't know if you can see. She makes jewelry, so you guys check her out. But you've got to celebrate all the small wins that you have. Because if you're waiting on something gigantic to celebrate, success, and Miss Margaret and Mr. Valley, you guys are business owners and entrepreneurs. So tell me if you agree, and anybody else who owns businesses on here, that it's the small successes that make the big ones better. Because you got to, good morning, my brother. I'm coming home for Thanksgiving, Omar, and I want to see you. I say that all the time, and y'all be so busy. So I'm putting myself on your calendar right now. So all my business owners, you guys know you've got to celebrate those small successes. And it's the small ones that make the bigger ones greater, that make them great. Because if I'm waiting for something big, it's not going to have the same feeling as if I celebrate the small ones. And sometimes it is the small successes that take you where you need to go. They absolutely. So you have the power to change, guys. You've got to be willing to do the work of the change. If you're not willing to do the work of the change, I don't want you to complain, because you've lost all rights to complain at that point. You've lost all rights of complaining. Thank you, Mr. Valley, for agreeing. It is the small successes, y'all. You got to celebrate everything. If you are trying not to complain anymore, remember, learning to stop complaining is harder for you than it is a person to come off drugs. So you got a long battle ahead of you. So that means you constantly have got to replace your thoughts with positive thoughts. If I could show you guys this wall, my computer here, you will see sticky notes everywhere. There's notes on the wall. Here. I have them everywhere. You've got to do whatever it takes to change your thinking. Yes, happy dance. I do a happy dance every day. Even if it's I accomplished one thing off of my list, I do a happy dance because I could not have accomplished that. So celebrate your wins. You have the power to change. You've got to stay present, meaning you can't keep going back to the past, because remember, we're growing past hurt from yesterday. We're moving past that. So you've got to stay present. What is one thing that you can do today that's going to make tomorrow different? What are you going to do one thing today that you did yesterday that you refused to do today? I had one lady. So the very first time I went to speak, it was with some young ladies who were coming off welfare, and they were welfare to work. And I'm an HR person, so I went to talk to them about HR and to tell my story and to tell them the small things that they can do. And I said, I want you to do just one thing every day. Do something different today than you did yesterday, no matter how little it is. And the little girl wrote me, she sent me an email. She said, I did it for 30 days. And she said, and I don't cuss as much as I used to. You got to take a win when you can take a win. So if it's stop cursing, hey, stop cursing. If it's talking negative to your children, stop talking negative to your children, because your children are living out your habits. Pay attention to that. Your children living out your habits. So stay present. We're not hanging on to the past anymore. Be grateful. Be thankful for where you are, because you're not where you are last month, last year. And if you're in the same place and we're having the same conversation with the same problem, you like crazy. That's the bottom line. You like it, you love it, and you rather deal with the crazy than handle the discipline of freedom. And that, my friend, is the place where battles are won. Battles are won right here, where either I'm going to deal with the comfort of the crazy I know, or the discipline of the freedom I know. This is where the battle is won. This is where you're going to fight the hardest, because you're fighting the old you with the new you. You're trying to pull away, and your old habits are trying to remind you, and you're trying to do something different. You're trying to replace those negative thoughts. It is trying. I'm not going to say it's going to be easy, but like I told you yesterday, you got to be determined. You've got to have a resolve inside of you that you're no longer going to continue to live in this crazy, and that if you can just hold on to that discipline, then you're going to make it where you want to be. That's right. Small victories lead to bigger victories, and you got to take them. The smaller things will lead to bigger things. I know sometimes we always think, I know for me, and this is true confessions and conversations, I always thought growing up, and my mother's on here, she'll tell you, I wanted to be president of the United States. I wanted to be a doctor. I wanted to be a lawyer. I wanted to be a gymnast. I wanted to do ballet. I wanted to be a singer and an actress. And those are all the things that Rosie wants to be. So Rosie is truly my mini me. But when you think about the things that you wanted to do as a kid, and then you look at you think you're on a path to something, and then you think, I'm absolutely nowhere where I wanted to be or where I thought I wanted to be. You can't let that stop you from continuing to go on. You have to celebrate your victories of what you have accomplished. Maybe you didn't get to be president, but you've accomplished other things in your life that are so worthy of celebrating. We have a celebration here every week. I ask the girls, what was the good things that you did this week? And we dance around the house. Or I show up with some flowers for the girls and say, hey, I'm proud of you, Court, for running a business. You took it on, and she works hard every day, 9 to 5. She gets up just like she's going to work. She comes here to the office, and she works on her business. And it's the small successes, thank you, Mr. Valley, that lead to your big victories. So you got to be grateful for where you are. You've got to celebrate it. And then you've got to conquer that fear. You remember fear and excitement. Right. I still, thank you, Mama. I still got time. I still might be president. I said I wanted to be a doctor, and I'm almost finished with that PhD. So hold fast. And I am a singer. Y'all hold on. I'm going to sing for y'all one day. The third thing you got to do is you got to conquer that fear. Remember, fear and excitement are the exact same chemical in the brain. What are you going to call it today? What is the one thing, that one action that you could take today that you're afraid to take, but if we called it excitement, that you would take? If you were excited about it, you would take that action. If you named it excitement, then do that today. So you can conquer fear. I think Mr. Valley said, what did you say, Mr. Valley? Fear is, I can't go back to your comment. I'm sure she'll post it for me. Again, false evidence appearing real. I think that's what she said. So be mindful of what you are truly. And think about this. And I did a whole show on this, and I'm sidetracking, but hold on. Your fears that you have, are they hereditary? Did you inherit your fears from your family and your friends because they were afraid of something? So you assumed you have to be afraid of it too because they're afraid of it? Is it really fear, or is it I'm just going with tradition because that's what Mama and them said? That's what Daddy and them did. That's what my sister and brother did. Are you really afraid? Or are you really afraid of the thing that you want to do? Or are you afraid of hurting your mama and them's feelings because you're doing something different from them? And when I tell you on this fearless journey, when you start to grow, it's going to hurt you to your heart to do something different from your family, because you're going to want to bring your family with you, first of all. And then when you figure it out, you want to tell your family all about it, and they're not going to be as gung-ho as you are. And some of them may not even care. And that's going to hurt your feelings too. Right. And we can't. And Miss Margaret, you carry that stuff. And my mama's on here. I told her the story about the fear of flying. I was afraid of flying because she was afraid of flying because her mama was afraid of flying. We 3 generations in afraid of flying, and ain't nobody been on a plane. How we got a fear of something? Again, fear is the emotion you attach to things you don't know. It's the fear of the unknown. It's because you don't know it. You are immediately afraid of it. So I'm 3 generations afraid of fear. 3 generations afraid of water. So when you start to grow past it, a lot of us have the fear of hurting our family's feelings. It's not the fear of flying that bothers us. It's the fear of doing something different from my mother. It's the fear of doing something different from my father. It's the fear of doing something different from our family, because our family has said, this is the, what's the word I want to use? This is the standard for our family. Oh, and you want to go above it? So now you're better than everybody else? No. I just want to do something different than everybody else. And once I learn it, I can come back and share it. Miss Margaret, you better say that some of them absolutely cannot come with you. And that's a hurting feeling. It is. But this journey of self-growth for yourself, you got to take it by yourself, baby. You got a support group. I'm always going to be your cheerleader. You will have a support group of friends and family, but the actual work, you're going to have to do yourself. So you got to conquer that fear. And number 4, you got to follow your passion. You have one, and don't say you don't. You just don't want to do the work of it. And so we have a laziness problem, not I don't have a passion problem. So if you want to continue to be lazy, by all means continue. If this is a judgment-free zone, I enjoy you coming here listening. I pray that I inspire you to take action. I want to be your agent of change. You can get motivation from everywhere, from anybody, reading anything, watching anything. I want you to make a change. I want to be able to say, hey, because you said this, I made a change of that. But you've got to be willing to do the work. Are you willing to do the work of your passion? Period. And then you've got to seize the opportunity. Opportunities are there every day at work. And if you think about this, and it comes to your job, and Miss Margaret is job coach, right, Miss Margaret? Here's Miss Margaret's thing right here. She is the job coach. So you guys need some help in your career, please make sure you reach out to her. This is her little card with her information. There have been plenty of times on your job where you have had opportunities to step up, do something different, show somebody something, but you chose not to because you were afraid. How much further along would you be in your career had you taken that extra step? Had you not been afraid of what they were going to say? Had you done the one thing that you were afraid of? Seize the opportunity. Opportunities always present itself. You don't know why? Because if we believe in Jesus and he's a creator and he made us to be great and we were put here for a reason, for his reason, and he put in us a gift for us to give out, then he's always going to make sure that there's an opportunity present for you to continue to do his work. I'm just saying. Always. Minister Valerie, am I correct on that? Please correct me if I'm wrong. But if you're still here, that means you still have work to do. You still have a vision to do. And he is always putting something in front of you for the opportunity for you to do what you're great at. Now, if you choose not to do it, you may have a laziness problem. You don't have a passion problem. Jesus didn't give me a gift problem. You have a laziness problem because you're not willing to do the work of the thing. And then you've got to celebrate. Those small wins make big victories, as Minister Valerie said. You've got to. Thank you, Trenda. Hey, Trenda. He will always make exactly. Now, it's up to you whether you acknowledge that or not. It's up to you whether you do it or not. But he's gonna do his end. Period. So those are 6 powers. Those are 6 ways you can use power to change. Yes. Thank you, Trenda. That's another word for lazy. Y'all know what a sloth is, right? It's that animal with the extremely long arms that moves really, really slow. It's moving so slow you can't even tell it's moving. Some of us are like that. Quote for the day: those who do not want to imitate anything produce nothing. What are you producing? What are you producing? And then what are your children seeing? What are you showing them? Because at the end of the day, your children are learning from you, are they not? Your children are living your behaviors. Guys, they truly are. Please make sure you share this video. I greatly appreciate it if you would. We're trying to get more viewers on the Fearless Morning Show. If your friends and family do not have Facebook, we do have a YouTube channel, and I just posted it right there so they can binge watch the Fearless Morning Show all day, and it is by topic and by title, so they can pick whatever topic and title they want. If you know anybody who's ready to live past crazy, please send them over this way and tell them today to follow, that they have the power to change if they follow your children are they are living your behaviors, Trenda, and sometimes we wonder why our children act out, act a fool, don't have a filter. Do we have a filter? Can we actually go to the schoolhouse? As my big dad used to say, I'm going to go to the schoolhouse and talk to your teacher. Can you go to the schoolhouse and stand there and say, I don't know why little Johnny acts that way when little when Mama Johnny Sue acts that way. So think about that, guys. Your children are absolutely living out your behaviors. And if you want something different from your children, then you will do the work. Once your children see you doing the work, they're going to put in the work, and then they're going to respect you even more. Yes, the journey may be hard. I'm not going to tell you it was easy. It was not. It was not easy living in a shelter. It was not easy living with friends. It was not easy with the lights turned off, the water turned. It was not easy. But what my girls saw was I was never going to quit. I was not going to stop. There was nothing that was going to stop me. And I think about it like on those days, if I ran track in high school. So if you think about when you're running and the wind is in your face, and your coach would tell you when you go on that curve, your body needs to go with the curve. And so when you're running and you getting that air in your face and you can't take another breath and you're just tired of fighting that air, because it feel like the harder you run, the harder it's pushing you back at your throat. That, my friend, is when you bend down. You bow your head down, you take a deep breath, and then you sprint on. Every coach would tell you that. Trenda is my running partner. We went to the same high school together, ran track together. She would tell you, that is when you bend your head down, and if it's fasting prayer, amen, you take a deep breath and you keep on running, because you got to be determined to get past that crazy. If you're not determined to get past that crazy, if you're not ready to do the discipline of freedom, you're going to stay in the comfort of crazy. And that's just it. You're going to be in comfort of crazy the rest of your life. And so now you have no reason to complain. Your reason for complaining has been taken away from you. If you don't want to take responsibility to live past it, then you don't have any room to complain. You're there on purpose. You got to be willing to do the work. Oh, Trinity, you didn't call me. You write about that in your paper. Let me tell you something. You learn a lot of lessons from track. I played soccer in college. You learn a lot of life lessons about when you're tired, how to push through, and you got to be ready to do whatever it takes. This is the place where battles are won, right here on this self-change journey, this self-growth, whatever you want to call it. This right here is where your support group comes in handy for those days when you can't do it alone. But please understand, the change is for you. It's not only for you, it's for your generations to come, because you have generations who are depending on you. And if you think that's not true, look at your mama. Look at your grandmother. How many things have we inherited from our family, from the women in our family that we carry on from this Thanksgiving, from cooking to how we talk to whatever it is. It has been handed down unspokenly to us from our great-great-grandmother. The Thanksgiving tradition, Christmas, whatever, Easter, whatever it is, those traditions have been handed down without a word, without anybody ever saying anything. It was always the action that made you know what to do. So what actions are you putting before your family and your children to say, this is our standard, this is how we're going to go, and this is where we're going to be? Now, if your standard is here and you're trying to get here, right here, it's the place where the battles are won. That's where it's the hardest. You got to work it out. You got to be willing to do the work. Yep, exactly. Because, and that forgiveness, y'all, and I got to get out of here. That forgiveness is a major thing. If your children see you holding on to anger and frustration, and they see it eating away at your soul, because it does. You not forgiving somebody is not doing a thing for them at all. You holding on to it is killing you, on the other hand. But you mad at them for what they did in your life, but you still giving them the power over your life every day you think about it, every day you relive it, every day you keep wanting to talk about it, see about it, tell somebody about it. Now, there's a difference between forgiveness and retelling your story. I have forgiven my abuser. Was it hard? Hell yeah. It was beyond hard. I can't even put into words I can't. That's something you're going to have to do on your own. But you got to forgive those who have hurt you so that you can move on, so that you can do. You have the power to change. 6 steps to power to change. You got to stay present. You got to be grateful. You got to conquer that fear. Fear and excitement are that same chemical in your brain. What are you going to call it today? Follow your passion. Seize the opportunity. And then you got to celebrate every small win. What are you going to celebrate today? If it was getting up and going about your way, let's celebrate that today. I'm proud of you. So today, guys, the quote for the day is, those who do not want to imitate anything produce nothing. And that's by Salvador Dali. Miss Margaret, I'm going to remember when I come visit that you promised to take me to his museum so we can make a day trip out of it. I like to learn history hands-on. I don't like to read history. So think about that day today, guys. On this is Take Action Tuesday. So on this Take Action Tuesday, know that you have the power to change. It is all up to you. You have generations depending on you. You have people depending on you. And it is absolutely your responsibility. If you're wondering why is it yours, that's not mine to answer. But I'm telling you that it is yours because it's on you every day. You think about it every day. And I'm going to read my favorite quote here because this earns a spot. When I dare to be powerful, to use my strength in the service of my vision, then it becomes less and less important whether I'm afraid. And that's by Audre Lorde. When I dare to be powerful, to use my strength in the service of my vision, then it becomes less and less important whether I'm afraid. Guys, let me tell you something. If you want some inspiration, that inspires me every morning to get up and do what I need to do. If you need, find some words that speak to you so that you can have your inspiration every day. All right, guys, please make sure you share the video. I greatly appreciate you guys showing up every morning at 7:15 with me. We are mailing out Christmas cards, so please send me your mailing address. And I will be doing electronic Christmas cards as well. Send them to me so that I can send you guys some Christmas cards out as our way of saying thank you for being here with us every morning at 7:15, because I know we all trying to get out of here and get where we have to be every morning. I appreciate you guys. I love you. Don't forget, if your friends and family have Facebook, if they don't have Facebook, we do have the YouTube channel so that you can share the videos from YouTube. That is the website for BeFearless.com. We do have jewelry available. And guess what we have coming? So y'all, if you've never been to one of my events, I always close the show out with everybody opening up their mirror with my daily mantra that hangs on my bathroom for those days when I don't feel like there's days I don't feel like it. And I repeat this. And so I found a mirror that says Fearless on it. So I have those available, and I have a wallet that says Fearless on it. But the mirror, and I'm going to put the mantra on the back and repeat after me. I look good. I feel good. I am good. And I say that to myself every morning until I feel better. Because sometimes you got to have somebody else's words to encourage you or to remind you. So that's my daily mantra. I look good. I feel good. I am good. But if you go over to Be Fearless, BAFearless.com, you will see all of our t-shirts and handbooks and phone covers and those kind of things. The mirrors and the wallets will be coming soon, so you can gift those for Christmas. Please make sure you share the video. And Miss Lynn Dimmons, who is America's #1 rebound coach, will be back with us on next week. I posted her link as well, so you can still check out her information, because your money doesn't have to be funny. And my name is Yamitra JoJo Waddell, the only Live Past Crazy specialist. So what better place to be than here with me? I hope you guys have a great Tuesday, and I will see you here bright and early tomorrow morning at 7:15. Have a good one.